Here we are on July 17th, 2022 in the pumpkin patch. I'm going to grab one of these immature pumpkins. They're not ready yet. Some of them are pretty big, and I'm going to try to cook it. Ran into a video on YouTube that insinuated that you couldn't eat a pumpkin until it got mature. I don't believe that's going to be right. I believe you can. It's a squash, and I think I'm going to zero in a little bit. You'll be able to eat it, I think, anytime, but I'm going to go. Now, these are the Bulldog orange pumpkins developed by the University of Georgia in 2004, and I've used them quite a few times. They are disease resistant, and they seem to do quite well down here in South Georgia, which is not the case with the traditional Connecticut field pumpkins and all of the ones that were developed up north. I'm going to grab one of these pumpkins, and then we're going to go in the house and cook it. All right, here's one down in here that's got kind of a traditional shape to it. That fellow was about better than 12 inches across. I'm going to get this small one next to it, and that'll be our experiment. This little one here, we'll carry it in, and actually that fella's pretty hard there. Maybe that may just be a small one that's not immature. Might be mature. We'll go look for another one. Alright, here I am. I found an immature one. I know it's immature because it still had the remnant of the flower on the end. That's the one that we're going to try. But I wanted to show you. I see some more down there. The flowers are still coming. To just show you the amazing growth of this pumpkin patch. Now I'll tell you something else. I'm looking down there toward the end, and the pumpkins are much smaller. I mean, the plants are. That's because this section of the garden gets full sun, and I'm looking that way. This pole barn blocks the early morning sun. Those are smaller. This section in here is gigantic. That gets the most sun, and then that section down there is shaded by the woods line over there. So you can clearly see that these pumpkins grow a lot bigger when they have more sun. However, the other ones are still making pumpkins. Okay, we're going to go now to the house and see what we can do with this guy. I wanted to show you something else about this that I find to be amazing, and I don't quite know why it is, but these pumpkins, they spread out like crazy. We're in the shadow of the building right now. You can see the shadow line, but the pumpkin vine has grown out, way out toward the shadow. I guess in the afternoon this isn't in the shadow, but these guys will tolerate some shade. Now, I did want to mention one thing about see, there's the woods line over there, and this is the shadow of the building. This pumpkin patch was planted in new ground, and by that I mean this was a pasture for many, many years, and certainly no garden has been planted on it in 20 years because I've had it that long. So I started in the middle of the winter and rotor-tilled up the ground and did it several more times until I got a really nice seed bed. So that may have something to do with this pumpkin patch flourishing to the extent that it has. So that's kind of an idea that you need to understand about rotating your garden spaces, you know, rotating your crops and so forth. All right, back into the house. If you'll nod your head when it's ready. Here we are, July 17th, 2022. And I want to mention that 17, July 17, that 17, Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. To those of you who are tuned in to the Q movement, and I'm not saying anything except that Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Here we are with the Bulldog. Here, right here, is the bigger one that I thought I was going by the size. But that one there is fairly mature. That's not what I was looking for. We'll probably cut that open and get seeds out of it later. Okay, back to the immature Bulldog Orange Pumpkin / Winter Squash. These guys, according to what I've read about them, were developed by the University of Georgia, by one of the men there, by somehow getting what they call germ plasma from the Amazon rainforest and sticking it inside some of the stuff from America through genetic engineering, I guess, and they have developed a pumpkin winter squash that is resistant to the deep south diseases that the traditional pumpkins get, and it grows very well down here so far. I'm tickled with it. Okay, we're going to try to cut this one and cook it as an immature squash and find out if it's good in its immature state. Yeah, this one's quite immature. There's no seeds in it at all. Let's see what we got here. There's no seeds. Tastes kind of like a cucumber, except a little more firm. And I think this is a member of the cucumber family, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to take since there is no seed cavity yet, I'm going to make one right here in order to put my goodie in there to give it some, and the goodie is going to be cinnamon, salt, and butter. Cooking it much like you would cook a butternut squash. The reason I'm doing this is because somebody on YouTube said that you couldn't eat a pumpkin until it got ripe. Well, I don't really know what they were talking about, but I thought, wait a minute, I don't think that's right. So we're going to do it. We're going to find out why, if any reason, this is butter, you wouldn't eat this is what I call the goodie. This is goodie. That's Watkins cinnamon. This is a kind of a specialty product we get at a local drugstore. I don't know how it compares with what you get at Walmart, but it's cinnamon and it's very, very tasty. And now we're going with the Himalayan pink sea salt. Pink salt, not sea salt. And I figure since this has got some color to it, it's kind of pink, it must have some kind of nutrients in there that are beneficial. It tastes just like regular salt to me. We're going to stick that back on there because we want to cook that too. This is going to go in the baking dish, and we are going to put that in the microwave for 3 minutes, and we're going to check it. And we'll get back to you in a few minutes. I'll give you a little quick update on this alternative method for storing okra. This is okra that I soaked in soy sauce. Quite salty. Soaked it overnight. And then I just put it out here on some paper towels and let it dry here. And then I just put it in the oven. And I think it's about 180 degrees. And then I just put it in the oven for 180 degrees for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then It's still not hard, but it's drying. Well, one reason it's not drying hard is because we're in an extremely rainy period here, and this is by a window, and this is a, but I can smell it. There's no way that's gonna deteriorate because it's got that soy sauce. I'm gonna eat one of them and give you I've given it to several people. Our soy sauce taste to it. And I don't know if you have to have that salty of flavor, but it's delicious. You could put that in your dehydrator and get it down hard. This will work to store okra, and it's very tasty. Coming out, I'm not going to take it out, but I'm going to do my fork trick, and it's still quite firm, so it's not anywhere near ready. That was 3 minutes. It's probably going to take 12 to 15 minutes to get it. I'm going to give it 4 minutes this time, because I know now from experimentation how long it takes. We'll get back to you. Alright, I think that we're close to being done here. Put this on for about 15 minutes or a little more. Let's see what we got here. Alright, that part is quite, this is still a little tough right in here. But I'm going to try it. Just see what we got. We do have seeds in there. They were just immature seeds. Let's see what we got right here. Let's just see what this tastes like. I'm going to get Debbie to taste a little piece of it, and we'll give you our honest opinion about this. Alright, what do you think?
Well, it didn't have much flavor to it.
That's what I thought. There's very little flavor. Maybe the immature squash, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but it just doesn't. Now, there's a lot of butter down in there. Somehow it went all the way through it. But certainly edible. Let's get some of this butter and put on here and see if this makes, I can see the cinnamon down in there. Come on. Okay, my assessment of this, here's a more solid piece right here, is that some more solid piece there. And I'll try one. I think that I think what it is that the immature squash has not developed its flavor of a pumpkin yet. It's certainly edible. It's certainly good, but it's not got the flavor of the. Let me get a little salt on there. we're going to have to cook one that is mature to make a good assessment. So, no, I don't recommend this. Except that it's food and it's okay, you know, and it's good, it's not bad. But a mature one probably, I'm guessing, is going to have a more of a pumpkin flavor to it. This is almost like a blossom here. It's very... Now, I'm going to tease you just a little bit. I'm going to do a video on Jack and Jill, who famously went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. And Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. In the next video, God willing, I'm going to talk about that and talk about what it means. And I will tell you, in my assessment, it is one of the most profound things spiritually that has eluded most of the people. And I believe that the Holy Spirit has clued me in on the true meaning of it several years ago, and I've talked about this with people, and I've never heard anybody yet that understood it like I do. And I looked it up on YouTube, and there's a good bit about it, but I think that the true meaning is going to be revealed to you in the next video. Alright, this is Gardener Israel signing off.